The prohibited practices of intellectual stewardship. Under the principle of intellectual self-authorship, every person possesses an emerging right to become the author of their own beliefs, values, worldview, identity, and life direction. The purpose of stewardship is not to determine what another person will believe. The purpose of stewardship is to preserve that person's future capacity to determine what they believe. Accordingly, the following practices are prohibited. I. Prohibition of intellectual ownership. No parent, church, school, government, organization, mentor, or steward may claim ownership over another person's developing mind. No steward may treat a child as property to be ideologically molded into a predetermined identity. No steward may presume authority to permanently author another person's beliefs. Parents are stewards of children, not authors of children. Churches are stewards of minds, not owners of minds. Schools are stewards of learning, not manufacturers of belief. 2. Prohibition of question suppression. No steward may punish, shame, ridicule, threaten, or otherwise discourage honest questioning. Questions shall not be treated as rebellion. Doubt shall not be treated as misconduct. Curiosity shall not be treated as disloyalty. Independent inquiry shall not be treated as moral failure. The emergence of questioning is evidence of self-authorship developing. 3. Prohibition of viewpoint exclusivity. No steward may intentionally isolate developing minds from reasonable alternative viewpoints. Exposure to differing perspectives shall not be prohibited. Children shall retain meaningful opportunities to encounter alternative philosophies, religions, political viewpoints, scientific theories, and systems of thought. Exposure is not the enemy of truth. Intellectual captivity is. 4. Prohibition of false certainty. No steward may knowingly present personal beliefs, speculative claims, faith claims, or disputed assertions as established fact. Stewards shall distinguish between observation, evidence, theory, consensus, opinion, belief, faith, speculation. A steward may say, "I believe this." A steward may not falsely represent belief as proven reality. V. Prohibition of fear-based belief formation. No steward may employ fear as a mechanism for securing ideological conformity. This includes threats of eternal punishment, threats of supernatural harm, threats of divine rejection, threats of cosmic consequences, threats of unavoidable misery, threats designed to suppress independent inquiry. Fear is not evidence. Fear is not reasoning. Fear shall not substitute for persuasion. 6. Prohibition of conditional belonging. No steward may make love, belonging, acceptance, family relationships, social standing, or community participation contingent upon ideological conformity. No steward may communicate, "Believe this or lose us," conform or be rejected, agree or be abandoned. Belonging shall not be weaponized against self-authorship. 7. Prohibition of coercive dependency. No steward may intentionally cultivate long-term psychological dependency upon an institution, ideology, organization, leader, nation, church, movement, or belief system. No steward may teach that independent thought is inherently dangerous. No steward may teach that a person is incapable of functioning without continued ideological submission. The purpose of stewardship is independence, not dependency. 8. Prohibition of affirmation before evaluation. No steward may require declarations of certainty before meaningful opportunities for evaluation have occurred. This includes compelled ideological affirmations, loyalty declarations, confessions of certainty, or belief recitations designed to create premature identity attachment. Children should evaluate ideas before being asked to affirm them. Commitment should follow understanding, not precede it. 9. Prohibition of identity capture. No steward may intentionally fuse personal worth, identity, dignity, or value with ideological conformity. No person shall be taught that disagreement with a doctrine constitutes rejection of themselves as a person. No person shall be taught that their value depends upon allegiance to an ideology, religion, nation, movement, or authority. X. Prohibition of information control. No steward may intentionally prevent access to information solely for the purpose of preserving ideological conformity. No steward may suppress reasonable evidence, counterarguments, criticisms, or competing viewpoints in order to maintain intellectual dependence. Truth does not require censorship to survive. 11. Prohibition of psychological manipulation. No steward may knowingly employ psychological manipulation techniques intended to bypass, impair, or overwhelm independent reasoning. This includes emotional conditioning, fear conditioning, dependency conditioning, identity conditioning, repetitive immersion designed to suppress critical evaluation. Other techniques intended to capture belief rather than cultivate understanding. Persuasion shall remain permissible. Manipulation shall not. 12. Prohibition of future foreclosure. No steward may intentionally obstruct another person's future ability to revise beliefs, reconsider conclusions, explore alternatives, or change affiliations. No steward may attempt to permanently close intellectual pathways that remain legitimately open. Self-authorship requires ongoing freedom to reconsider. 13. Prohibition of intellectual capture. No steward may attempt to predetermine another person's final worldview, identity, loyalties, religion, politics, philosophy, or life direction. The purpose of stewardship is preparation, not programming. The purpose of education is capacity development, not conclusion manufacturing. The purpose of guidance is empowerment, not ownership. Foundational rule. The future belongs to the future thinker, not to the parent. Not to the church, not to the school, not to the state, not to the nation, not to the ideology. The role of stewardship is not to decide what a child will believe. The role of stewardship is to preserve the child's future capacity to decide what they believe. This is the principle of intellectual self-authorship.